Good morning, Mason Gang. Today I don't really have an agenda with this video, and that's what's gonna make this video a little different. Welcome. Can't wait to go through the day with you. So the conclusion I came to, you can't always be friends with everyone in the company. I love to be friends with everyone. I want to make everyone so happy, right? Like any manager we bring on, any employee we bring on, I want to just treat them A+. I want to do everything I can for them. I want to develop their careers. I want to give them everything they desire. That just can't happen. It's not a realistic thing for the company. I think, like, as you own a company and you bring people on, especially when you're a startup, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to bring on any person possible that believes in my mission. If they believe in my mission, I need to offer them anything to be a part of the company, whether they are qualified or they're not qualified. At the beginning, when you're starting a company, it's scary because you're all alone. And then if you find someone that you explain what you're trying to build and they gravitate towards it and they join, you feel like you owe them the world. And you might, because you found someone that loves what you're trying to do and they're there for you. You can go through those hardships together, even if they aren't taking the blunt of the risk. But that is also dangerous because that ends up making them one of your closest friends. And it kind of becomes tough to decide how to treat that relationship. All right, so what you actually just witness, that's what an entrepreneur is really like. You have a bunch of random admin work that pops up all the time. So I had to answer some phone calls because I get about honestly, probably like 30 or 40 a day. And yeah, and then you guys also saw me taking some notes because I am studying. Because in Arizona, you actually need to take a test when you're landscaping. Actually, you need to take 3 of them because a lot of people in Arizona get scammed by their landscaping companies. Therefore, I had to study a little bit because I'm waiting to go pick up some plants. And now we're ready to get to some actual manual labor. I mean, it's good to get really close with all of your coworkers, but it's also dangerous because, you focus more on keeping those early employees happy because you don't want them to leave you and you don't want to be alone in the journey. That sometimes it becomes dangerous mainly because you focus more on their well-being and their happiness, which is good, but you focus on it more than the strength of the company. And obviously your company is only as strong as your employees, so it's a fine line to balance, because if you only focus on them, your customers don't benefit necessarily. Your business doesn't grow because you start dropping the 8 ball. You might not be as stern, or you might not guide as well as you should. And that's where it gets dangerous. So I'm here at my favorite place, Gerton's, and you can see there's still plants out because this is pretty much our last week to really plant before everything's gonna freeze on us. So we are putting a lot of plants on the ground. You can see that at 3 Timber Services channel, and it's pretty though right now. Look at all this color. I love it. Like when we're running and the first couple of people that join the company, I want to give them everything, right? I want to make sure they're happy. If they're making a mistake, I don't want to call them out. I don't want to be that bad boss. I want to be their friend. And that just does not always work. Because the thing is, when you become too buddy-buddy, it's fine to be buddy-buddy outside of work. But when you become too buddy-buddy, unfortunately, the thing that happens is you're not willing to call each other out. You're not willing to point out flaws. You constantly avoid conflict that can help the company grow. And it's all because, you become buddy-buddy at work. And when you're buddy-buddy at work and you guys all feel like friends, you just feel like, and it's hard to separate work from just being good guys, right? And I mean, you can think about it with your best friend. Your best friend, how often do you like to call them out for things? You don't necessarily want to rock the boat. At least I don't. That's my personal opinion. And that's why, moving forward, you guys saw it in videos prior, I won't do business with friends again. I really won't. I'll do it with my brother, I'll do it with my family, but I think friends are off the table. We are at the shop. I want to show you guys something pretty cool. The guys, and I'll put some footage in here, just finished doing some solid landscaping here at the shop. So I added a little retaining wall through here, added a whole bunch of plants. You can see that is pretty. We still got to add some mulch, but for now we're still trying to plant as much as possible before it freezes. But pretty happy with that. It is cold. 47. And look at that. Getting dirt. If you would have asked me like a month ago, if it was 47, it was rainy, would you just have guys go home? Yeah, I would have. But honestly, like now I'm starting to realize like we really have to push work. Like we have to get people out in the field as long as humanly possible. I've been a little soft on that, and that kind of hurts our margins, especially because we have guys on salary. And like that's a big thing, especially with a landscaping company. You're not getting paid if guys aren't in the field actually getting work done. So, I mean, I'd say in the past, I've kind of just been like, it's rainy, it's gonna rain for a little bit, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Like, let's call it good. And that's also that friend thing, you know, because you're like, oh, I want to be friends with everyone in the company. I want everyone to be happy. So yeah, that's a big thing. Like right now, just changing the mindset a little bit. It's like, hey, we're all still friends outside of work, and we are friends at work too, but like, company's a company, needs cash. So I'm out here in the cold seeding, right? It's probably a little late to seed. It's gonna be cold. I mean, like I told her, you maybe are gonna get 20% of your seed to come in because it's just freezing. And tonight, no, 2 nights from now it's gonna freeze. After that it's gonna freeze. Not a good time to seed, but she requested it anyways. And you know, you're probably looking around and watching the video and you're like, oh, you're making it awfully messy. You know, sometimes you have clients that take advantage of you. And I hate to say this because you know what, if clients hear this, I'm not trying to be a bad business owner, and you know what, it's just we do a job for you and we expect to be treated fairly. And you know what, on this one we're not being treated fairly, because if she doesn't get what she wants, we're kind of a bad company, and she's really upset at us. And you know, as a new company, we can't really risk getting poor reviews, getting people to spread rumors in a neighborhood that we're bad at our jobs. And you know, what happened here is we laid fertilizer and she said, you know what, you guys killed my grass. It's unacceptable. You guys need to come out here and fix it. And you know what, me being naive, you know, I came out, I met, she's so nice, and she is so nice. I really appreciate her. I'm happy she's staying with us. And she just said, you guys killed my grass. Like, I watered it for months. And unfortunately, you know, if we do a weed and feed, we can prove that you don't water it. So we did this. We laid this fertilizer a month ago. There's no way that there should be pellets still, granulars, a month later. So that means this thing has barely been watered for a month. So if you do a weed and feed and you don't water, this is what happens. This is why we warn people to water after. I mean, we're doing a service and we're doing something kind here, but we don't need to be here. We don't need to be here for free. And so, like, honestly, I'm getting seed down. I'm getting nice loamy soil in there. Things will grow if it doesn't freeze. But outside of that, like, we're doing our best to keep clients that are honest and treat us with respect. And if we're not treated with respect and people try to take advantage of us, like, we're still going to be the bigger people and come out and do the job. As you can tell, we're still seeding. We're still using loamy soil. That costs us money. That seed costs us $100. Me being here costs multiple hundreds because I could be out doing something else with other crews or managing other jobs or getting bids. If it happens again next year, for example, and I went to the door and I warned her, I was like, straight up, if this stuff dies again next year or burns out, like, we're not held responsible. Like, we tell all of you guys how to handle fertilization. If we dump too much and it burns it out, that's on us. But if there's evidence that you haven't even washed it in or watered it in for over a month, I'm sorry, we can't keep fixing other people's mistakes because that's not who we are. I have been very stern where it's like, this can't happen again. This is why it happened. This is not our fault. So just make sure you protect yourself, because you deserve to be protected too if you're doing good work and your guys are doing good work and they're trying hard. Don't always blame yourself, because sometimes it's not always your fault. Okay, that wraps up seating. It looks pretty good. I should have showed you when I was out there. See? Look at that. Looks good. Well done. That should grow fine. Client, very kind. Thank you for giving us a chance to fix your lawn that we did not ruin. But just got to make sure, as a business owner, this is from one business owner to another, that you don't get taken advantage of by other people, because you are of value as well. You have a family to take care of as well. You have to protect yourself as well. You don't have to be a jerk. You should be fair, 100% fair all the time, but also make sure you don't get taken advantage of. It's that simple. That wraps up today's video. I appreciate you guys coming along. You can see it's just wrapping up in there. Drewski's in there. Brad's in there. That's Zach. He cleans the space. Oh, we got a good looking truck sitting here. It's a good day. And I'm happy you came along. And I hope I maybe taught you something. Maybe I didn't. But it's just nice to have you guys. It makes my day better. It definitely does. So thank you. I love all of you. I'll see you next time in the next episode of The Mason Show.